Hello lovelies, it's Lex and I have another speed build for you. So I haven't done a house build in a while that wasn't a starter house, so I ended up doing one of those today. This is going to be one of my two-part speed build videos here. So this first one is going to be the general layout and a little bit of landscaping and just the general shape and roof and that kind of thing of the house, like the structure of the house. And then the second speed build is going to be all the interior furnishing here. So hopefully you like that I do them in those two parts. I could just leave them as one video and the videos would be about 11 or 12 minutes long-ish because I think both of them are going to work out to be about 6 minutes, but I don't like to do that. I like my videos to be like shorter for these speed builds. They're called speed builds for a reason. I never understood why people put up speed builds and they're like 45 minutes long. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have 45 minutes to watch you build a house, so I like to keep them short. I did have a lot of trouble with the roofing on this house. I'm sure you saw my little message that just said skip to 2 minutes for finished roof. I'm not the best roofer. I do have a lot of trouble doing the roofing in Sims 4. I was a little bit better at it in Sims 3 because I feel like you had a little bit more freedom with the roofs. There were a lot more different types of roofing than there are in Sims 4, and I'm not sure if we're going to be getting any new ones anytime soon, but for whatever reason there just aren't as many types that you can choose from as there were in Sims 3, which is a little bit sad. I was going to do this as a covered porch, but it just was not happening. Everything I tried to do to fix it made it worse, and I ended up just totally scrapping the idea of having a covered porch out front and just went with a regular looking roof. And I think it ended up looking really, really nice, but the process of getting to it looking really nice took a lot longer than it should have. I do end up putting some of those, like, oh, there they are, those little dormer things that came with the Get Together. I think that's the one that came with Windenburg. I always want to call it Windhelm. Almost every single time that I'm using something that came from Get Together that came with that, like, Windenburg or whatever it is, I want to say Windhelm because I play Skyrim all the time, and for whatever reason my brain, like, mixes those two things up together. I did put this house on a much higher foundation than I usually do as well. I was trying to kind of replicate a thing that I used to do in Sims 3 all the time, and it's really hard to do in Sims 4 because we don't have a terrain tool, and I don't understand why we don't have one. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that we don't have a terrain tool. It's just such a normal, like, regular thing to have, so that kind of is a little bit, I don't understand. But I was making the foundation a lot higher so that it was kind of like a mock basement, even though you don't have one, because, like, most houses that have basements, like, you can kind of see them from the outside, but not fully. And it's just like this weird thing where, like, I used to like to build houses like kind of into the side of hillsides so they could have like exposed garage doors, but the actual basement was still underground, and that's just not something that is able to be done as easy in Sims 4 as you could in Sims 3. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I went with all hardwood flooring. This is only a 2-bedroom house because it is supposed to be a cute little cottage here. It did come in only at about, I think, 70 or 72,000 simoleons, which I was really surprised about. I'm always really surprised whenever I do these house builds that I don't give myself a, like, price point to stick to, that most of the time they end up coming in, like, cheaper than I expected them to. There ends up being a lot of skill building items in this house. I know I'm like saying these things, but then they're not going to happen because you have to wait for the other video to come out. But there ends up being a pool, a grill, there's a garden, there is a bar, there's a full kitchen. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this house. And I ended up setting up the smaller bedroom as just like a kid's bedroom, but you could always change it to a teen bedroom, toddler bedroom, a nursery, you know, whatever you wanted to do. But this is definitely a smaller house. You probably could add on some more bedrooms. Like, after I finish doing the outer landscaping kind of stuff over here, there is a lot of room still left on the left-hand side of the lot because the main, like, yard portion ends up going on the right-hand side of the lot here. I was going to put in one of the fishing ponds with the show hidden objects sheet, but because I usually end up building at a smaller scale, I tend to not use really large lots when I'm building. So, like, this lot I think is only a 30 by 20, where a lot of people, if they're going to be building a, like, larger house, would do it on, like, a 40 by 30 or whatever. They would pick a larger lot, but since I tend to build small, I tend to pick the smaller lots. So I just didn't have space for this fishing pond as much as I would have liked to have put it on, which is another tool. Why don't we have a pond tool? Come on, EA. I need a pond tool and I need a terrain tool. I don't understand why this is such a hard thing for you to give me. I like to build. I don't care about playing the game. I want a pond tool. Yeah, I really don't understand why we don't have those though. But I just didn't have space for it. I probably could have tried to put it on the other side, but since I built this house like dead center, and I like to make my houses very mirror on both sides, I like things to be even. It's like a problem that I have. I didn't think there would be room on the other side either. I really like the fencing I went with. I think that this stone fencing really fits in with the style of the house. And instead of using the actual like flooring patterns, I went with a lot of the like spray paint pebble kind of thing. The only outdoor area that's going to have actual flooring on it is, I believe I put it around the pool and a little bit back behind where I have one of the work benches for the woodworking. This chimney does not stay here. I end up totally scrapping that idea and just putting it on the roof. But hopefully you guys enjoy this speed build. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. As always, please feel free to leave me suggestions in the comments down below for any other builds you'd like to see. If you have any questions about building, or if you have any specific builds that you would like me to do for you, just let me know what you're looking for down in the comments, and you can also leave me your Sims 4 gallery ID if you would like me to tag you in the room so it's easier for you to find it. But have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see everybody in the next video.